Hey. I know I have not gone long in a while, especially to my personal page, but I know that I have actually made a lot of recent new connections, accepting and even sending some friend requests of people on Facebook. I have a lot of people that have just been following me, so every so often I just want to pop in, say who I am, what I do, all that other good stuff. Obviously, my name shows that I'm Victoria Baxter. A lot of people know me as Coach V. I am the new love strategist. At the end of the day, I'm all about helping single Christian women when it comes to finding their person. Okay, I do that through my unique framework, of course, to make sure that it's not all about getting a man, but of course, I work as a Christian dating coach, life coach, relationship coach, forgiveness coach, trauma certified specialist, matchmaker, all of those good things. So I have built my business over probably about 10 years now, being in the field of working with single women, and now even moving into working with single Christian men as well, because I am all about love. I am all about everyone finding their person, all of that good stuff. Typically on Fridays, I only do a training video, the MIT training video, that's motivation, inspiration, transformation. I post it into the SAS tribe, which for years has been my growing community of single Christian women, where I provide affirmations, tips, training videos, and everything like that. But I had recently announced in the tribe that coming up soon, there are going to be some changes, just as far as, me protecting time, peace, boundaries, all of that other good stuff, looking at the things that are draining me, looking at the things that are fruitful. So I do know that the SAS tribe, again, there are going to be some adjustments, if not, to be honest, maybe even potentially closing all the way down, as I focus on where I am now connecting with the new group of women who are serious about investing in themselves, going deeper with God, and also investing in their love lives, okay? As you can see by the title, and I'm not even going to talk long today, at least I'm going to try not to, but of course, as a Christian dating coach, many people, it's like they hear that I'm a dating coach, and a lot of women, they go into, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Where the good men at? All of these different things. I share, proof and testimony showing where a lot of my clients are right now, a lot of the results they're getting, how far along they are in their dating lives, their love lives, even marriages, starting families, all of that other good stuff. And so many women are still trying to figure out why it hasn't happened for them. Now, of course, I'm going to be honest and say, with a lot of the women who tend to ask those questions, whether it's in person, whether it's in emails, whether it's in my inbox, it's women that I have not worked with, right? So, of course, the ladies who have gone before, the ladies who have actually done the work, those are the ones who are getting results at the end of the day. So that is something we have to keep in mind. I always say we have to remember that we have to ultimately invest in what it is that we want to see. If we are serious about seeing changes and progress in a certain area, then we have to be willing to take the steps. But I'm going to come on here with a little bit of free game. I want to talk about the 3 questions that actually help my clients stop dating emotionally unavailable men, because that seems to be the thing that a lot of women talk about today, complain about, and go on and on and on about, how a lot of the men today are not even emotionally available, which is interesting, because what I have come to learn and realize is that a lot of the women themselves are also not emotionally available. So it's funny how we can, I know the Bible talks about, sawdust, planks, back, all that other good stuff, but we're not even going to go there. So here's what I'll say. So many women, I realize that a lot of women are not intentionally choosing emotionally unavailable men. Like, no one wakes up one morning and says, let's go on that app and see where the emotionally unavailable men are. Like, I want to go out this weekend. Let's find some emotionally unavailable men. That is not what happens, right? But many people are drawn, especially emotionally, to familiarity. They are drawn to what it is they are used to, what their attachment style is, how their nervous system is wired. So even if someone is inconsistent, even if someone struggles with communication, a lot of people are also drawn to emotional intensity. Many women, if we're honest, we have found ourselves, whether now or in the past, also being drawn to potential, falling in love with the potential, staying based off potential, who we know that man can become, who we think that man can become, all of these things, right? Emotional unavailability, it doesn't always look cold or toxic or like a warning sign in the beginning. Truth be told, many times it's the complete opposite. The man comes in, he's attentive, he's communicative, he keeps his word, his actions seem aligned, he's funny, he knows the Lord, all of these things. He's affectionate, he's attractive, he's even consistent at first, right? But then over time, what we end up seeing is that a lot of men, they avoid depth. They avoid clarity. They avoid commitment. They avoid or even do not like accountability. And those things tend to create confusion. And many women, they often realize after the fact, they realize the pattern after the emotional attachment has already taken place, which is not good, because that is what makes it hard to walk away from something that no longer suits you. That's what makes it hard to walk away from something that is not good, something that is misalignment. I am that Me Too person. I always share my business. I will be the first to admit I am that woman who myself have found myself. I have found myself in situations and in relationships where it was hard to walk away because I was already emotionally attached. And I was also stuck on potential. I was thinking about the man that I fell in love with at the beginning. And that's what can make it so hard, even when you notice the patterns. Even when you notice this man is avoidant in some way, even when you realize that he is unavailable, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, relationally, whatever. So I don't want women to actually become paranoid in dating because of all that I just said, but I will say that you do need better questions that you need to be asking. And one of those questions is, when you are connecting with the guy, when you're dating, when you're involved, when you're interested, when you're attached, whatever, you need to ask, do I feel peace or do I feel performance? Because a lot of women, and I hate to say, but I'm going to say it, especially when there are some insecurities, especially when there's that deep desire, longing, craving, yearning, whatever, for love in a relationship, you will disregard a lot of the things that are important and you just find yourself performing. You're not even asking the right questions, trying to figure out if you and that man are aligned. The only thing you know is that you're sick of being single. You know that you're alone. You're tired of feeling lonely. You want to be in a relationship. You're ready for it to be your turn. It's something that's happening for everyone else. So in your mind, the only thing you know is that you want the connection. And a lot of women, they want it so badly, they disregard being true to themselves, and they will get into a habit of performing in dating or in a relationship without even realizing it. And when you're performing, that, what I mean by that, it could be over explaining. It could be over giving. It can be trying to prove yourself, trying to prove your worth. It could be overthinking. It can be doing whatever you feel as if it is necessary in order for you to secure that connection, to maintain that connection so that you don't have to start over, so that you don't have to go back out there in these ghetto dating greasy streets, right? And so there comes all of this pressure now. You feel pressure to say the right things. You feel pressure to not seem needy. You feel pressure to not scare that man away. You feel pressure to make sure that that man stays interested in you. Listen, healthy connections do not come with pressure. None of that is necessary. Healthy connections should not feel like you are emotionally auditioning in order to secure a role. Anytime those emotional, unavailable dynamics are present, they are going to create anxiety. They're going to create hypervigilance in that relationship where you're now constantly checking your phone. God forbid you get to the point of checking his phone, but it's like you're constantly checking your phone, trying to see, did he reach out? Did he respond? When is he going to call you? If he's going to call you back, you will find yourself analyzing text messages or even analyzing delayed texts. And what I mean is, if a man takes too long to respond or to communicate at all, now you're analyzing it. You're going deep in thought, trying to figure out what's going on. Was it something I said? Could there be someone else? Maybe he's not that interested. Maybe I shouldn't have told him. All of these other different things, all of these scenarios that women come up with. I've been spending, excuse me, a little bit more time over on another platform because it's actually been going well for me in my business and everything. And I realized that when I post videos and dating tips and stuff like that, here lately I've been having a lot of women who will end up reaching out to me. They either have questions or they want to know how to work with me. I've been having all of these relationship reset intensive sessions, and so many women, it's been because they are triggered because of the actions of a man. They're trying to, almost like they want to use me to let them know exactly what that man is thinking, what that man is feeling, why he's acting a certain way, why he's not acting a certain way. And all too often, they are coming with these questions and these scenarios that consist of a man that they've only been seeing or dating for like 10 days, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. It's like almost never even been a month. So women find themselves over investing in doing the most and analyzing all of these different things, which show the hypervigilance that I'm talking about, or anytime that there's a shift in the man's communication or availability. Now that woman, her entire mood has changed. It's like her mood and her well-being is tied to the behaviors and the actions and the communication of a man that she doesn't even know if she's aligned with. There's no peace at all, nothing but straight performance. And a lot of women will call a connection chemistry when it's really just anxiety. It's really just what they are now wired to and used to. They are used to chaos and confusion, typically because of their upbringing, because of their relationship with their mother and or father, or lack of that relationship. So because their nervous system is all out of whack, they're used to that. So therefore, if they end up experiencing it with the man, they're thinking there's some type of chemistry, not even realizing that it's nervous system conditioning. Listen, we already know that our God is not the author of confusion, right? You think if you find yourself dealing with a man and you're constantly confused and unsure and getting mixed signals, that that is something from God? No. This is why discernment matters. This is why I say that dating without discernment is dangerous, because you will find yourself out here getting caught up, falling in love, doing the most, accepting the most, sometimes accepting the minimum, all for a man that's going to have you crying in your car 60 days from now. I need more women to learn to guard their hearts, emotionally speaking. Guard your heart. We are to do that for a reason. Everything that we do, it flows from the condition of our heart. The heart, it is the most sacred thing, and we are supposed to protect that, but it's hard for you to guard it if you're out here getting all involved in giving your heart to every man just because he's 6'2" and he has pretty teeth and smiles at you properly. So I want you to have peace. You need to ask yourself, do I feel peace? And listen, peace does not mean perfection, okay? There's no relationship that's perfect, but there is someone out there who is perfect for you and your needs and where you are, and that is the goal. So even though peace does not mean perfection, yet and still, a healthy connection should feel emotionally safe all across the board, okay? Question 2 that helps my clients stop dating emotionally unavailable men is, am I connected to who he is or who I hope he becomes? This is the kicker for a lot of women. So many women are connected to, in love with, addicted to, obsessed with all of who they hope that man is going to become. All because of the fantasy that they have created and the fantasy that they have built in their minds, and they are living off of that fantasy, not even paying attention to who that man is right now, to who and what that man is showing you right now. So many women date off of potential instead of reality. I stayed in a relationship once before because of the potential, and I was completely blind to, oblivious to, and disregarding the reality. Okay? Emotionally unavailable men, they survive off of future promises. They tell you they're going to change. Things are going to get better. It's not always going to be like this. I'm going to work on this. We're going to get back to XYZ. That is how they survive. And that is all that a woman needs to hear, especially a woman who has not fully stepped into awareness and healing and growth and wholeness. That is all a woman needs to hear in order for her to stay put, in order for her to keep her hopes up, in order for her to remain in love. And then they'll even go as deep as spiritualizing it. Oh, well, I think that God has me in this season. Maybe it's because how I treated the last guy, or, I think God has me here because I'm supposed to pray for him. I'm supposed to be that woman who's going to break down the roof and get this man to Jesus. I'm going to be the one that helps him heal. Girl, stop it. Stop getting attached to the glimpses, the possibilities, the almost. Stop getting attached to the moments. Stop focusing so much on who that man was in the beginning. And I know that it happens because a lot of women, they say things like, well, he said that he's working on it. He said that he wants marriage one day. He says that he's healing. He says that he's trying. He says that he doesn't know where he would be without me. All the crazy things that we as women tell ourselves. But current behavior matters. Patterns matter. Consistency matters. Emotional capacity matters. Effort matters. Intentionality matters. All of those things, that is what matters, not the words that he is using to keep you stuck and stagnant with him. Potential has kept women emotionally stuck for years, okay? Years. And women sometimes they ignore when there's a lack of follow through. They ignore avoidance. They ignore that there's inconsistency. They ignore the emotional walls. They ignore the lack of progression. They ignore that there's something inside of them telling them something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is. But a lot of women, they will talk themselves out of that. Well, maybe I'm just, I'm so used to running. Maybe it's because I'm just so used to having things my way. Maybe I just need to learn how to be patient. Girl, stop. Okay? The last question that helps my clients when it comes to no longer dating the emotionally unavailable men is, what does this connection bring out of me? Okay? Yeah, I'm getting a little loud. What does this connection, this relationship with this man bring out of me? If you start thinking about who you were before and then thinking about who you are now, is this relationship bringing the best parts of you out, or is it causing the best parts of you to retreat? Are you finding yourself now becoming a version of a woman that you do not like? A woman who is now making everything about a man? A woman who is maybe no longer patient, no longer kind, now always exhausted, always anxious, always annoyed and frustrated, always overthinking something? Have you found yourself now preoccupied with this man and his well-being? That would indicate that you have an anxious attachment style, by the way. But this question changes everything. Okay? Healthy relationships, they reveal healthy fruit over time. And when there's an emotional unavailable dynamic going on, it is going to bring out anxiety, it is going to bring out obsession, it is going to bring out insecurity, overthinking, fear of abandonment, emotional instability, all of these things. And a lot of women, they normalize emotional chaos. Why? Because it feels familiar. That is what they are used to. That is what they are accustomed to. Just because you are deeply emotionally activated, it does not mean the connection is healthy. It does not mean that that man is your person. It does not mean that he is the one for you. Again, this is nervous system familiarity. There's a reason why healthy men, secure men, the good qualified men, right? The godly men, the handsome men, all of that good stuff. But there's a reason why those men can initially feel foreign, boring, lame, labeled as, oh, there was no spark, or there was just something off about him. A woman will label a good man all of those different things if she is unhealed. See, inconsistency, it feels exciting when you have a wounded attachment style. Inconsistency feels exciting when you're not used to calmness. Calmness is something that will feel unfamiliar because you never experienced it. So you're steadily going based off of what you're used to instead of realizing, hey, what I'm used to hasn't gotten me anywhere thus far. It ain't working out that well for me, but the only thing you know is what you are used to. You need to think about those connections and those men and everything else. Think about the fruit of the Spirit that we see in Galatians 5:22 and 23. Do you feel peace? Is there love? Self-control, right? Emotional stability. All of those things matter. A healthy relationship should not constantly pull you out of alignment. It should not interfere with your walk with God. It should not interfere with the the work that you've been doing on yourself. It should not be getting in the way of your growth and your evolvement. It should not pull you out of alignment at the end of the day. I have a relationship readiness assessment that a lot of women take just to find out, are you truly ready for a healthy relationship with where you are right now? And what I see is that a lot of women think they're ready until deeper reflection starts. And what I see, because I review all the assessments that come in, okay? And what I see a lot of time is that there are some patterns, common patterns that are being revealed. Common patterns like the attachment issues, the fear of abandonment, the rejection sensitivity, low emotional boundaries. I see a lot of women dealing with emotional overinvestment. I realize that a lot of women have difficulty when it comes to discerning healthy versus unhealthy attraction. I realize that a lot of women are craving and they have a deep need for reassurance. I see that a lot of women found themselves in relationships where they were constantly tolerating inconsistency. That assessment is very insightful. It gives me information, of course, about the woman, but a lot of women, they get their results, or even sometimes just reading the questions and answering them and then seeing their results. It brings a lot of awareness, and awareness can be very, very uncomfortable. But like I always say, awareness changes everything. So many women are emotionally intelligent, professionally speaking, but they are still emotionally reactive, relationally speaking. And if you are emotionally reactive, it means you are not ready yet for a healthy relationship. So it's like when you get the information, what are you going to do with it? Because information alone doesn't change patterns. Only intentional work is what changes patterns. So I say to all the ladies, I want you to think about these three questions going forward. When you find yourself involved, if you're currently involved, when you are dating, when you have a connection, ask yourself these three questions, because these are the ones that, like I said, they help my clients when it comes to no longer dating the emotionally unavailable men, the men that have excuses for everything, the ones who are notorious for finding women who will overlook and justify those excuses and those behaviors. We not doing that no more, okay? 2026 is a new year, so ladies, get on into it. I will say this is the kind of work that we are going to be doing in my 90-day reset. Align for Love starts Monday, June 1st. I do still have spaces available. This is not just inspirational conversations. Let me put that out there. We are doing healing. We are doing rewiring. We are looking at self-worth. We are looking at discernment work, dating strategy, emotional awareness, accountability, support, everything. So it's a 90-day structure. There are going to be bi-weekly private coaching calls with just me and you, but then there are going to be weekly group accountability calls as well. You are going to have work and assignments to do in between sessions in your workbook. There's going to be a lot of reflection work, okay? Because some women don't need another talking stage. What they need is a reset. And I am all about making sure that women get a reset because, like I said before, and I've been saying a lot, 2026, this is the year of alignment, okay? This is the year it is time for you to get into alignment with who it is that God has called you to be, who God desires for you to be. And believe it or not, God does care about your love life. I know a lot of people don't think that, but God cares about everything concerning you, all right? So get into it, do what needs to be done. Either way, at the end of the day, I encourage you to stop normalizing emotionally exhaustive dating experiences. You are above that. You are better than that. We're not doing that anymore. And pretty much all I can say is that it's up to you to decide that you are going to stay stuck, or you can decide that you are going to shift. Okay, which one is it going to be? All right, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, hop in my inbox. I am here to help you by any means necessary at the end of the day. All right, take care, have a great weekend, and yeah, ladies, I hope to see you Monday in Align for Love.